So I want to welcome you guys back to another windy day here in western Oklahoma. And today we're going to be planting our potato garden. And I want to take you guys through the process and show you how we do our potatoes here. Now, like with everything that we grow, we don't grow our potatoes in the ground. Our soil here in western Oklahoma is nothing but clay. It's really not the best soil to grow in, so we choose not to grow any of our vegetables, including our potatoes, directly into the ground. So the way we chose to do it is called the Ruth stout method, and that is just basically growing our potatoes straight into some hay. So what we've got here is a layer of cardboard that we laid down, and that's just to kind of keep the weeds and stuff from growing up through the hay. And this year we have got some oat hay here that we got from a neighbor down the street. And the thing about the oat hay or any type of hay is you want to try and use some really old hay that's may not have a bunch of viable seeds in it. Now this hay, we don't know how old this hay is, but it was something that he wasn't going to feed to his animals, so we're only assuming it's a couple of years old. And we have really good neighbors here in the small western Oklahoma community that doesn't mind helping people out when they need something, and he just gave us this bale of oat hay here. But if we have a few oats come up, it won't be no big deal. We'll have free feed for the chickens if that's the case. So what we've got right now is our first layer of oats down, and it's probably about maybe 3 or 4 inches straight on top of the cardboard. And we're going to finish it out on this side as well, and then we're going to lay our potatoes right on top of that, and then we'll come in with another 3 or 4 inches and cover up our potatoes. So we'll get that done, and then we'll get back to the video. Okay guys, so we got our potatoes all laid out here, and what we did is just literally just come around and laid them right on top of the first layer of hay that we put on. Now, the varieties that we're doing this year are a red Norland, a Yukon Gold, a Kennebec, an Adirondack Blue, and a Norcota. So what we're going to do now is come back with another layer, about 4 inches or so, cover these guys up, give them a good watering, and we'll be done with our potato planting. Okay guys, so we have our potatoes planted out here in our Ruth stout garden, and one of the main reasons why we enjoy putting our potatoes in this hay is we have outside jobs that take us away from the farm every day, and we don't have the time to come out here and do any conventional gardening. And you can see with this method here, there's no special tools involved. We don't have to run a rototiller, a rake, or a hoe, or a shovel, anything other than just our hands. And that makes it real simple for us, real easy. And this hay here is really good at insulating the potatoes. If you happen to get a late freeze like we do here in Oklahoma, a lot of times we get a real late freeze and might kill off things that's already sprouted. But this will help insulate the potatoes from a late freeze. It also holds in the moisture really well, so that's really important in this part of of Oklahoma to really watch your water usage. We live with droughts all the time here, and we don't want to have to put more water on these potatoes than the potatoes are actually worth. So this is a multitude of things that make this better for us and our lifestyle and our climate, is to put these potatoes right in this hay, and it's a little work as possible and as little maintenance as possible, without any watering or weeds or anything like that. So we'll be bringing you guys updates as these potatoes start to grow, and we'll show you guys along as they're starting to mature, and actually how easy it is to harvest them once they're ready to harvest. So let's go out here and look at our little raised bed here. And we decided this year we was going to try to do some in a raised bed. So I'll close the gate here, and this is got this gate here to keep the armadillos from digging in here and digging up our potatoes. So we've had problems with that, but we have this old water tank that was rusted through the bottom and wasn't holding water anymore, so we decided to fill it up with hay and put some potatoes in here and give it a try. So then we just got a few of the potatoes, stuck them in here about 6 inches deep or so, covered them over, and there's our raised bed potatoes. So that pretty much does it for the potato garden. So we're going to go into the aquaponics system, and we're going to show you guys how we like to plant our onions here. So let's go and take a look at that. Okay guys, so we're going to plant a few onions here today. Now normally I wouldn't plant onions in this flood and drain bed, but these are the only 2 beds that I have online right now, and we're running a little bit behind on our time frame for onions and stuff, so we need to get something planted. And as I get more systems online, I can move these onions over to any of the other grow beds at any time, whenever I get further along in the process. But I want to get a few onions going. We're going to plant a couple of hundred here today, but I'm just going to show you maybe 1 or 2. The process is all the same, so let's get started. So we have a 2-inch net cup here, and what I'm going to do is get a few pieces of this larger gravel and put it in the bottom just to fill the holes, just like that, so our grit won't fall through the bottom. And we'll take this onion bulb, and I'm going to try and center it right in there on top, just like that. And I'm going to take the chicken grit. Now we use crushed granite, and we also use the oyster shell chicken grit to plant all of our net pots in. We'll just take some of this chicken grit and try to very gently, might have to hold it down. Very gently just cover it up. Hope you guys can hear me okay. The wind is blowing like crazy. And I'll just take this and just level it off a little bit. Come in here in my gravel bed. Find the water level. I don't want to plant these very deep into the water level. This chicken grit is really good at wicking water, so it doesn't need to be in there, but maybe an 1/8 of an inch or 1/16, it will wick the water all the way to the top once it gets a little bit wet. So just going to stick it in there where the net cup is barely in the water. Now these are flood and drain, so that it may be on its drain cycle, I don't know, so it may come up a little bit. And that's why this is not really ideal for flood and drain. I can't keep the level constant, but it's not going to be a big deal. These onions should do just fine in here. So we have our onion bulb planted, and that's the way we're going to do the next couple of hundred. And then as we get more systems online and we start growing onions in these different growing methods, we'll come back and we'll show you how we do onions in the other processes. So thank you guys for watching the video today. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned something. And remember, nothing ventured, nothing gained. See you next time.